What is up, YouTube party people? It has been so long since I've done that intro, and let me tell you, I missed it so bad. I missed filming YouTube videos. Please subscribe to my new channel right here if you enjoy this video or any of my videos. Thank you. Let's get into it. Today, we are going to be reading Biden x Trump fanfiction. Alright? That's what we're gonna do, because that is a staple on my channel, alright? I can't let go of the fanfiction readings. I love them. I just feel like it's fitting, given the recent election. I feel like we need something a little comedic regarding the election to kind of help us get through it, you know what I mean? Because I wanted to make this video before the election. It was gonna be a Halloween / election special, and what I was gonna do is I was going to dress up as Mario. And do it all in character because it was Halloween. I was gonna read Biden x Trump fanfiction completely in character as Mario. That's what I was gonna do. But then YouTube had other plans for my channel, and so this is my second. YouTube had other plans for my channel, I fear. I'm not really gonna state what happened. That's kind of classified, but I'm sure you can guess. So this is my second channel, and this is also my main channel, because the first one doesn't exist anymore because it was me that deleted it, for sure. We're gonna keep it very family friendly on this channel, because last time I read a fan fiction, it didn't turn out very well for me because I was stupid, and I read a spicy fan fiction, and I didn't really censor much because I thought it was like comedic intent, artistic intent, but I guess not. Alright, so we're gonna keep it a little family friendly, but we're gonna read some Biden x Trump because I, for one, in a way, I'm starting to ship them. I gotta be real, if Biden and Trump came from a fictional story, I really feel like the old man Yowie would be so popular. I'm so serious. Like, I really do think that if America was actually just like a live action drama or like an anime, people would ship the hell out of Biden and Trump. I think it's so funny. I really do think it's funny. For some reason, like, political stuff like this always makes me giggle. It's such low-hanging fruit, and it's kind of corny, but I like the corniness sometimes. I always feel like writing fan fictions about real life people and stuff is pretty goofy, but for some reason when it comes to political figures, I don't have that feeling. Because on my old channel, I actually had a video where I read Kendrick Lamar x Drake fan fiction. It's lost media now, I fear, but it was a great video. And like there, I felt like it was kind of corny, but in this case, I'm like, I don't feel like that. It's just like actually a little funny to me. Like I said, it's low-hanging fruit. But I'm gonna stop yapping and we're just gonna delve right into the AO3 tag of Biden and Trump. This is not a political video. This is the most political we're gonna get on here besides my election rant video, okay? We're not doing that, alright? I have no political bias when reading this. These are actually just old fictional men, alright? They're not real. Donald Trump who? President Donald Trump? Who? Biden? Who's that? Let's do it, y'all. We're on it. We are on it, baby. Sort and filter. Let's do hits. I think hits is good. It's just like the description of it. It's just The title of this fanfiction is I'm Sorry, in parentheses, Trump x Biden. After the debate, Biden and Trump discover many things together. Unfortunately, y'all, I cannot read this on YouTube, alright? This will probably get me in trouble, so unfortunately, we have to keep it PG. But if anyone ever wants to see, like, me read something a little crazier, let me know if y'all want a Patreon. Maybe for like $1, I would open a Patreon and we can just go fucking buck wild on there and we can read whatever we want, alright? Because I'm like, damn, I wish I could read this. But let's read something a little more family friendly, okay? I can't say the word out loud, but the tags say Gex just in the tags like that. That's so funny. Alpha Joe Biden, Omega Trump, Omegaverse. You know what? I was about to say, why would Joe Biden be the alpha? Wouldn't he be the omega? But now I'm thinking about it, and Trump being an omega is kind of peak. Because it's like, when you have like an arrogant, narcissistic character, okay, these are characters, these are not real people. When you have like a narcissistic character kind of get taken down a peg because they're the submissive one in bed, I guess you could say. What can I say without getting in trouble on YouTube, bro? This is hard as hell. I'm just gonna say, when they have the personality of an omega when they're in bed versus when they're outside of the bed and they're being like smug and narcissistic and you take them down a peg and you humble them. Narcissists getting humbled in bed is such a good trope. Alright, it's a good trope. So Trump being an omega is something I support wholeheartedly. And if you don't know what omegaverse is, well, let me explain it to you. Omegaverse is pretty much where the hierarchy of society is dictated by whether you're an alpha, omega, or a beta. So alphas are pretty much like werewolves. They are at the top of the pack. They're the dominant ones. Omegas, they're the ones, they go into like heat and stuff. And in order to get cured of their heat, they need to like get fucked. And the betas are like the normal people. They're like the normal ones. I'm pretty sure like I would be a beta. I'm not gonna lie. Because honestly, like the alphas and omegas are like the freaks. All right. I think alpha, like an omegaverse is like so stupid. If I'm being honest, like I never like reading omegaverse fanfictions, but it's a very like easy, cheap way to kind of like, how am I gonna get these characters to you know? Omega! It is truly just a very convenient plot device. A lot of people use it because they don't know what else to do. In this case, I don't think we're gonna read one simply because I don't know what's allowed and what's not. But my old Kendrick and Drake video, I was reading an Omegaverse fanfiction of the two and Kendrick was an Omega, which was a very interesting choice. I wish I still had that video, bro. It's lost media now. But I want to read something that's like a little serious, okay? I don't want any people taking the piss out of it in the middle of their fan fictions. I want this to be written as straight as possible. I want this to be written as seriously as possible. I think I found a good one. Wait, that has an E. I think E stands for actually. I don't know. Let's give it a try. It's called Joe Fell First, Donald Fell Harder by Anonymous. And I actually like that it's anonymous, so on the off chance if this video ever blew up, there wouldn't be like any name attached to the fanfiction. I don't want anyone like getting bullied because of like a video I published or anything. We don't do that here, okay? We don't do that on the Zarina channel. Their relationship is very forbidden amongst their supporters, but it doesn't really matter to them. Let's click it. It has 3K words, so we've got a little bit of content here. Oh, maybe I should use an AI for this because it's actually first-person POV of Donald. Should we? Okay, I'm gonna read it and then I'm gonna put it through an AI. So, enter Donald. Ever since that day in 2005, my life downgraded. Before that very day, I was having affairs and drinking with my good friends Bill and Jeff. I never once thought of Melania as hotter than any of the chicks I was with. But she was okay, I guess. Maybe I should try to do a Trump impression. Like, ever since that day. I can't do it. Okay. But she was okay, I guess. Only when she keeps her mouth closed, after all. Her personality is revolting. Like every other past wife, very, very predictable. But once I married her, I just could not get away with everything so easily. She took my money and even gave me my child. He was just like his mother, always needy. I don't have time for that. I'm a businessman. Before... Oh, that's a wire. I was like, what is that? Before I married her was just fine. When we met for the first time, it was great. I was married to my second wife, Maria. Wait, Marla. My eyes are bad. She was getting a bit old, so I decided I need someone new. I craved someone new. The same kitty wasn't needed anymore, which is why I found her. Alright, we're gonna substitute bad words with nice words, okay? I met Melania at a party with my friends and partners in business. When she gave me that lap dance, I knew she had to be mine. I took her to a random room in the building, and that's when I knew that I needed her. Badly. I thought I did. I finalized the divorce with Maria and I went with Melania. In a little while of dating, I got bored. I realized I needed something new. I then met this hot corn star with really big baboinkas. I have never once felt more alive than that day. I didn't care, it was just a one-time thing. It felt like heaven on earth. Fast forward to today, my life is hell. My friend got exposed for and he died shortly after. I ran against my other friend's wife, now he's against me. And now I also got I don't know why I'm laughing, it's just Bill Clinton, but I don't know. And now I also got exposed to everything I have done in my 4-year term, including having relations with minors, and that thing that happened in the early 2000s. But I really don't care. I don't know what they're referring to. I was thinking like 9/11 or something. I have loyal followers and money. Those idiots do everything I tell them to do. If I murdered their family right in front of their eyes, they would still support me. He's spitting facts. I have done many things for the sake of the Okay, wait. He's just yapping about himself. We need to get to the good part. But if I want to be honest, I didn't want this. You know what? Let's just read it. I have done many things for the sake of the US. I have built a great big wall to keep out the unnecessary immigrants. He never did that. I really could not have done it without Stephen Miller. He was the best decision that I have ever made for this country. But again, it has been going bad. A man I interviewed with in early 2020 leaked a video of me saying completely the opposite of what I say to the public, motivating others to register to vote against me in November. But if I want to be honest, I didn't want this. I don't care about the pandemic and I want loyal followers and all the power I crave. I want to be in control and I will do whatever it takes to get me there. I've become friends with so many world leaders. For example, Kim Jong-un, Vladimir Putin, the Israel Prime Minister, the Saudi Arabia Crown Prince. They are loyal to me. I need loyalty. The last time I made an ally was the head of the FBI. He exposed me. Thank God he isn't there anymore. But the person I most trust is my attorney, Rudy Giuliani. He would defend me till the day he dies. But it isn't about that. I'm way past my midlife crisis. I'm frustrated. Women just aren't as attractive as they were. If only someone understood me. To be continued. The Rudy Giuliani thing didn't age well. I wonder when this was published. Yeah, this was in 2021. What? I can't read this. It's just a chapter of Nancy Pelosi and Mitch McConnell in the middle of the Senate. What the heck? I thought this was gonna be Trump x Biden. Wait, let's go to the next chapter. There's 3. What is this? Okay, this is garbage. I don't know what happened, but chapter 3 and chapter 2 like completely lost the plot. Where is the cinema? Where is the Shakespearean level writing for this ship? What the heck? Yo, this is 5,000 words with 13 chapters. Like, damn. Oh, Miraculous Ladybug? Nah. Can we have something good? Oh, this one is good. Wait, hold up. Hold up. Okay, this one is called Trump Temptations. In the description, the summary, I'm like, this is already gonna be good, okay? I'm just gonna show it on the screen. There you go. All right, we're gonna read it now. And before we actually get into it, disclaimer, this is not hate or anything. In no way do I want to be making fun of this, because for one thing, this is all a joke. Like, literally Biden x Trump, like, we're all just fucking around. I don't want anyone to, like, send hate or anything. This is not a political video either. All right, these are 2 fictional old men characters from the series America season, like, 64, okay? None of this is real. Just remember that. Oh, my back hurts, bro. My cat is literally like sleeping right here, so I'm like uncomfortable. Like, I need to change my position real quick. Kitty! Okay, let's get into it. Trump Temptations. This was published right before the election in 2020. How things change. Okay, let's go. Bye, dear. See you soon. Melania briefly pecked Donald on the cheek before swiftly exiting the White House, descending the stairs 3 steps at a time and disappearing into the black limousine parked at the entrance. Donald smiled weakly, waving at the tinted window and watching it pull away. Another Saturday night, alone. He sighed and ran his fingers through his hair, and much to his distress, a whole clump fell out. Trudging up the stairs, he silently cursed Melania for leaving him alone with his thoughts. She had so many outside friends, none of whom liked Donald very much, so he opted to stay home when Melania went out for the night. Being the good vice president he was, Mike had offered to take care of his duties for the night to give Donald a break after his first debate, but this left Donald without much to do. He grinned grimly at the thought of Mike, who was probably swamped in work at the moment. Maybe he should give him a visit, bring him some saltine crackers and Kraft cheese, some good comfort food. Donald entered the kitchen quietly as to not disturb the cooks and grabbed a bottle of root beer and a packet of saltines. He galloped quickly to Mike's office, cracking open the door. Donald, is that you? Mike's soft voice filled the air as Donald entered the room with his larger-than-life presence. Papers were piled high everywhere, and it seemed a wonder that they hadn't tipped over. A soft breeze floated in through the open window, fluttering the room occupant's hair. "Hey, Mike. Brought you some snacks. Hope you're doing well." Donald placed the offerings on the corner of Mike's desk before walking around to take a look at his work. "Yup. Just finished making laws to ban the furries and the existence of libtards. I'm so tired of this, Donald. Do we really need to do this for another 4 years? Mike whined needily, grabbing Donald's large hand with his own dainty fingers. Donald chuckled knowingly, caressing Mike's hand in between his own. Mike shivered at his touch, leading into Donald as he responded. "We need to the lip sharts and the gays. You know this. We've been over it, Mike. The world has no place for Democrats and it's our duty." Mike sighed in defeat before letting go of Donald's hand, turning his chair back to his work. "Yeah, you're right. Anyway, Biden sent an email to you a few hours ago. I forwarded it to you. It looked important." If Donald noticed Mike's faint blush, he didn't show it. Instead, he raised his eyebrows in surprise. "Is that right?" He laughed a little before making his way to the exit. "I'll check it out. Thanks a lot, Mike. I really appreciate it." "Anything for you, Donald," Mike replied cheerily, timidly fanning his cheeks before putting his AirPods back in to listen to Grant McDonald. Donald nervously made his way back to the room, the events of the previous night running through his head. He had had a heated debate with his long-standing rival, and both had been pushed to their limits, attempting to bring the other down. However, that wasn't that part that consumed his mind the most. At the end, they were required to shake hands for the camera. During this time, Joe gripped his hand very tightly and slipped him a paper. Donald absent-mindedly rubbed his knuckles where the ghost of Joe's touch still lingered. He dug his hand into his pocket, grabbing for the paper which he had safe-kept in the fear of maids discovering it and reporting it to CNN. Scrawled in blue letters, the note read, "Hey, you big fart. Call me sometime. I need to talk to you. Biden." And below was his personal phone number. Donald shuddered in anticipation, fearing the dementia patient. While he would never lead on to his supporters that the libtards had had any effect on him, Donald was certainly afraid of the bitcherols. They were so temptingly happy and gave Donald impure thoughts at times. That was besides the matter at hand. The forwarded email lured his thoughts away. After struggling with his iPhone Face ID for a minute, which had trouble detecting his face since he had recently spray tanned a deeper, more luxurious shade of orange, he was able to open the unread mail. "You haven't called? Did you lose my note? Fucking dementia patients. Anyway, text or call me when you have the chance. From Biden." Donald bristled indignantly at Biden's insult of his dementia. If anyone had dementia, it would be Biden. The straight audacity of that man. Donald huffed but clicked the phone app and punched in Biden's number. He sat nervously in his rocking chair, listening to the ringing of the phone. Donald's hands were quickly gathering sweat. An eternity seemed to pass before Biden picked up. "Hello, this is Biden. Who's calling? Came a smooth drawl. Donald almost jumped, the phone sliding a little out of his hands. He hadn't really planned what to say next. Hey, you motherfucker, it's Trump calling. What the hell do you need? Even his own tone surprised himself, not realizing he was one to put such an aggressive front with Biden. Biden only chuckled in response, his deep voice flooding Donald's ears. Somehow, it wasn't unpleasant to hear. Donald tried to relax a bit by settling in his chair. Oh, hey, Trump. You finally called. Listen, I needed to talk to you about something, but it can't be over the phone. I don't want anyone listening in the conversation, and I can't let the media know about this conversation. Biden's words spilled out quickly and with much urgency. I was wondering if we could meet up somewhere tomorrow, just for a quick hour. I really need to discuss this with you. It's important. Just spit it out, Biden. Not everyone has time to spare in their day. Donald wasn't gonna let it slip that Mike was covering his duties for the time being. That was simply unprofessional. Biden ignored him. Meet at this bar tomorrow night at 9. It's up to you if you want to go or not. I'll text you the address. And with that, Biden ended the call. Donald sat stunned by the interaction. What the fuck? His phone chimed distantly with the incoming bar address. A local bar at his old age? Damn that shriveled man. He brushed his chin pensively and with a sudden thought, texted his chauffeur before closing his eyes. Ariana Grande's angelic voice drifted him into oblivion. Yo, this is 7 chapters. That's crazy. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Is this even good content? But why would you invite him to a bar? You guys are both presidents. Like, that's gonna cause way more attention. What are they gonna do now? Wouldn't it be better to just call? Anyways, chapter 2. Next day, 8 p.m. God damn it, Donald! What are you doing now? Melania's shrill voice pierced the air as she swung the door open to their grand bathroom. Donald screamed and almost dropped his towel, face scarlet from embarrassment. Melania immediately slammed her eyelids shut, not wanting to witness this terrible sight. Donald irritatedly adjusted his hair and snapped, What? What the hell do you mean, woman? I'm taking a damn bath. Melania squinted her eyes open to roll them, brushing a speck of dirt off her perfect skirt. I mean, she clarified, the fact that you're going to a bar tonight. Her voice softened. I asked the limousine driver and he said you have plans tonight. Is something up? You almost never go out. Are you cheating on me? Her voice wavered on the last sentence. At the sight of a perfect tear trickling down Melania's cheek, Donald immediately crumbled to his knees, mouth watering. He lapped it up quickly as it fell to the floor. Ah, nothing tastes better than the sorrow of beautiful, dirty brunette woman. Grabbing her hand to help himself stand up again, he caressed her palm in slow, smoothing circles. He gently brushed aside a lock of hair to stare directly into her alluring eyes before responding. No, Melania, you misunderstood. Biden asked me to meet him there for some reason, and if I get him drunk enough, I can kill him so I can become a dictator, like Kim Jong-un. He sighed dreamily. I need to check this out, dear. I'm very sorry I can't spend the night with you. I promise, though, tomorrow, we can check out the new McDonald's down the road. Melania smiled in resignation, realizing that no matter what she said, Donald would always see to his duties over her needs. The nation needed him. Oh no, my phone has 20% left. Give me a second. Alright, we're just gonna keep reading. I don't know what's gonna happen here. The nation needed him. She was so incredibly proud. Alright, honey bunches, don't get too wild, okay? Or else no hugs for a week. She gave him one last smile, one without much warmth, before sauntering out of the room with a forced pep in her step. Donald turned back to his clothes, suddenly nervous. He hadn't been to such a low-end bar in years, or possibly ever, and he wasn't sure what to wear. In the end, he decided on a crisp, white button-down, first 2 buttons unbuttoned, and plain navy slacks. He slipped on some Black Dog Martin combat boots along with a beanie and Brandy Melville chain to accessorize. Just as he was considering putting eyeliner on, Mike walked into his room. The humor is so lowbrow, but it's like just imagining Trump doing that, like him in that outfit. The idea of him putting eyeliner on, it's making me giggle. We're gonna skip a little ahead because it's just Mike coming in and being like, oh, where are you going, Trump? Where are you going? So let's skip to him actually getting to the bar. The bar was pretty close to the White House, and Donald stared forlornly out of the window at the familiar paths. His stomach twisted in anticipation simply at the thought of taking a knife and it through Biden's hot body. What? Hot? No, Donald wasn't a hoe. What the f? Biden must have placed him under some weird mind control, the same type he used to gather voters. Shaking his head to clear his mind, he regained his sense of his surroundings. The limo had just pulled up to the front of the bar. It seemed to be full of life, and Donald almost shook in anxiety as his butler opened the door and helped him out. The beanie helped disguise his giveaway hair, and he entered the bar inconspicuously without anyone giving him a second look. He immediately spotted his abominable foe sitting in the corner at a booth, nursing a beer. The deteriorating man suddenly looked up, and dark gray eyes locked with a glassy Asian blue. Donald made his... Oh my god, I don't know why I'm laughing. Just like the glassy Asian blue, and I'm just imagining the actual scene. It's like low-key kind of beautiful. Donald made his way past the people on the dance floor, tempted to take his disguise off so they would show him the respect he deserved. They had already stepped on his prim black shoes, and he had just bought them. "Hey fucker," Donald grumbled, settling into the booth opposite from Biden. He called a waitress over and asked for 2 shots of vodka with cranberry juice. Biden's evident amusement didn't escape Donald's notice. "You got a problem with my order?" he snapped. "No," Biden chuckled, taking another sip of his beer. He paused and his lips tightened into a grim line. "So you're probably wondering why I asked you here, right?" Donald scoffed, glancing at Biden's scrawny figure. He was wearing a crew-neck sweatshirt and straight pants, along with some brown Oxfords. Not a bad look. "No duh. So what do you want? I don't have all night." Yet again, the same lie. He'd be damned if he found himself doing real work instead of sitting at his desk playing agma.io and admiring his new fade in the reflection of his phone screen. He brushed his fingers against the knife he hid in his pocket, waiting for the perfect opportunity to strike. With his other hand, he took a sip of the vodka that arrived quickly. "Okay, so here's the thing. You remember our good friend Hillary? You know, the female? I've gotten word from one of my insiders that she's planning a rebellion on the day of the election. She has secret members of her army all over the world, and the talk of the town is that she's got the K-pop and anime fans on her side, ready to lay down their lives for her. No matter who wins, she'll assault us both and overthrow the American government. This will undeniably cause a civil war. We can't let this happen." Biden took a prolonged chug of his beer, gauging for his rival's reaction. Donald simply sat in a stunned silence. "What? Holy shit, is that Donald Trump and Joe Biden?" A man's drunken slur overpowered the hum of the loud music, and the bar fell silent as everyone turned to look in their direction. The 2 candidates froze like deer caught in headlights, and Biden threw his bucket hat on and seized Donald's wrist. "We need to go." In a state of shock, Donald stumbled after him, body tugged by Biden's bony grip. He wildly looked around, heart racing. His limo was nowhere to be seen. This wasn't good. The crowd inside the bar was beginning to chase after them. He only hoped that the undercover guards would do their job. What they needed now was somewhere more private to talk. He was jolted back to his main focus. A private location would be an ideal place to Biden without anyone serving as a witness. He figured that he could clear up the evidence of him and Biden at the bar later. "Where are we going?" Donald forced the words out as Biden led him down the street. His old lungs threatened to give up on him. Biden remained silent, and Donald noted that he still hadn't let go of his wrist, even though the mob was no longer on their tails. Both of them were slightly dizzy from the alcohol. It seemed their tolerance wasn't nearly as strong as it used to be. They stopped at an apartment complex in a more suburban part of Washington, D.C. Biden released Donald's hands to take his keys out. Donald stood nervously to the side as Biden fumbled a bit. The cold was getting to him. He couldn't take it anymore, watching Biden's stupid hands struggle to use the keys. "Give me that," Donald growled, ripping the keys from Biden's thin fingers, their hands brushing over one another for a brief moment in time. He shoved the key in the keyhole and turned it, and the door unlocked with a soft click. Biden opened the door and ushered Donald inside, checking for any paparazzi or members of the bar, but the streets were quiet and empty. He followed Donald inside and closed the door, only to be met with a large to his throat. "I'll fucking you for that bullshit story. Who the fuck do you think I am?" Donald pressed the closer to Biden's throat, eliciting a nervous exhale from the dementia patient. "And when I you, I'll no longer have competition for the stupid election, since no one likes Kamala Harris. She's a woman, and I hate women." When was this written? Wait, I already checked. 2020, damn. They predicted it, I guess. Biden sneered, glaring at Donald before whipping out his karate moves. He knocked the knife out of Donald's hands before he could react and reach for the doorknob in an attempt to escape. Oh no you don't, you son of a bitch. Donald wrestled Joe, but his movements were sluggish from the alcohol. He managed to tackle Biden to the ground and pinned him to the floor by sitting on his chest. They both sat in a momentary silence, panting heavily from exertion. Biden tried to sit up, but Donald's hands immediately wrapped around his throat, cutting his blood flow with his choking. Trump, I'm telling the truth. He gasped for air. Let me explain my plan to solve this. Donald squeezed tighter, his heart racing. He had never killed someone using this method before, and he wasn't sure if he was doing it right. Biden didn't look like he was about to pass, but his eyes kept rolling to the back of his head. He kept making these small pleading sounds, begging for his life. Donald shifted uncomfortably, the weight of the situation hitting him like a brick. He was about to kill an old man. Hot blood coursed through his veins. Biden wasn't holding up any better. He couldn't keep it together. It had been years since anyone had held him like this. He never disclosed his desires to Jill, so they had always had very heterosexual. Nothing beyond what was necessary to make them both and eventually have children. A pleased moment escaped him before he could regain his composure. What the f***? Trump exclaimed. You sick f***. You were enjoying that. You. At this point, he had released his hands from Joe's throat, unable to comprehend that he had been touching a someone he was also sitting on, and that one he had turned one on. And one he had turned on. Joe regained his breath and smiled weakly, rolling his head over and eyeing him from the side. Don't play pretend with me, Trump. You enjoyed that too, he wheezed. He pushed Donald off him in one swift move, pressing his foot into Donald's. Donald whimpered in surprise, realizing that he had enjoyed being in control. What the f***? Before he could think or even say something, Joe pulled him up and his old chapped lips crushed into his. Donald's brain went blank, realizing how nice it was to actually be held, wanted. He began leaning into his touch. Wait. This was a man. This was Biden. What the f***? Trump shoved Biden off him, watching the frail man tumble to the ground. Are you that drunk right now? Biden wiped his mouth, smirking. He got up with the support of a nearby chair and regained his breath. So what if I am? This is our only option. You didn't let me explain before. The only way to stop Hillary from turning America into a shit show is to unite. We can't divide this nation anymore, and it starts from us. If we divorce our wives and get together, we can unite our forces to fight Hillary. I'm not kidding. This is our only way out, and I've had experts run studies and evaluations of our situation. Biden looked... I'm sorry, I don't know why that's funny. Biden, like, in the White House, like, Oval Office with, like, actual advisors. I'm at 10% now. With, like, actual advisors just being like, bro, you're cooked. You have to get together with Trump. This is our only way out, and I've had experts run studies and evaluations of our situation. Biden suddenly looked years younger, his tufty hair glowing a warm shade of brown under the dim light of the apartment building. Donald glared at him, at a loss for words. Fuck off. He mumbled weakly before rushing out of the room. Joe didn't stop him and the door slammed shut, leaving him alone in the quiet building. End of chapter. I think this is actually a good stopping point because my phone is gonna run out and it's kind of a long fanfiction, and I'm not gonna lie, like, I'm low-key invested in it. Because I'm thinking, like, yo, wait, actually, like, how are they gonna handle this? Because if Hillary actually does try to perform a coup on Trump and Biden, like, they really do need to join forces. She even has K-pop and anime fans on her side. This is so stupid. It's so corny. Oh my god. But, like, I appreciate it. It's well written too. It is well written. You know what though? If anyone wants a continuation of this, I'm happy to provide. Just let me know in the comments. Let me know if there's like any series you would want me to like read goofy fanfiction of, or like any ship, because truly I have a lot of fun doing it on this channel. I think it's like the funnest form of content for me, besides just like regular commentary and stuff, but I really do like it, and I'm gonna try to keep this video as PG as I can, so I apologize for all the censorship. We really don't want to get in trouble again. Alright, we're not gonna do that again. I learned my lesson, and I'm gonna be very careful, okay, YouTube? I'm gonna be very careful, alright? There's so much nasty stuff on YouTube, but for some reason, if you say a few naughty words, like, you're shut down, which is crazy to me, but that's a rant for another day. That's a different toilet for another day. That's about it, though, and I hope you enjoy your day, or your night, or whenever you watch this, and I will see you on the flip side. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.